Thank you very much, Trouble, Perkz, and Class Act, to give an interview in this context. We always offer teams, we ask for these kind of interviews when they're in tough situations, whether it's right after a loss or after being knocked out, and credit to Perkz giving it. Still a human being, and still a human being that has to play League of Legends on this final day, and while it doesn't mean much for Vitality, it doesn't mean anything for Vitality at this moment, their destiny is out of their control, it does mean a lot for Excel looking to lock top 4. That said, also Ender's here. Hi, Ender. I'm so used to hanging out with you that I forget that it's weird for you to be casting.
A lot of analyst desk these days.
So there are no phantoms in this game.
Okay.
There are no buy-arounds.
I know what League of Legends is.
Yeah, you like
Drakos.
this? You like these jokes?
Yep.
This is going to be our cast. This is our dynamic.
This is the entire thing.
As I just explain things to you in Valorant terms. Other than that, as always with these games where one team is eliminated and is kind of just playing for pride or playing to show that they can give a good game, we will take it as seriously as the game is played. So again, they draft normal cast. There's a Shaco Yuumi bot lane. We're gonna get weird, and we're gonna get weird
first.
Yuumi
cast.
There it is.
We'll see.
Anyway, it's time to find out. Let's get into picks and bans for our first game of the day: Team Vitality versus Excel. So Ender, here it's agents. I'm kidding. I'm done. I'm over it.
Okay, we're done with that.
We're done with that. League of Legends. Anyway, bans aren't usually the biggest indicator, but with the Draven taken off the board already, I imagine we may see a little bit of spice today. I would think it would be a really classy move from Vitality to let Douglas play, one of his signature picks. Let him really
carry junglers.
Let him let him strut his stuff in this final game, because obviously he's sort of collateral damage in what has been a very difficult season and difficult year for Vitality. Maokai taken away, LeBlanc taken away, Azir, all very standard, but the Azir taken away from Abba. Maybe get to see him branch out a bit more today.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea for Vitality to try and push Excel off of some of these power picks for them, because they came in back in week 2 with a very clear idea. Tanks top side, get that Maokai in the jungle, scaling in mid with the Azir. The Xayah was another pick that next to the aggressive laning Draven of Patrik was just so powerful for them. And Excel are on an absolute tear. 4 out of the last 5 games have been wins for them, and this is the team that was in the Vitality position 2 splits in a row, now trying to make a deep run into playoffs.
Yep. And obviously, this is just a single game. They've already locked, but looking to lock top 4. Top 4 would help them avoid playing a Fnatic or a G2 in the first round. So important to try to keep that second life as you go later and later into the season. Milio lock-in would be not surprising whatsoever, but crowd, I don't know if it's because it's a different circumstances, or it's because it's a Monday and you've all worked or gone to school, but no one seems to care that Yuumi's open, which is cool. Is that character development, Berlin, or is it just maybe no appetite to scream about cats today? I think they've moved on.
All right, that's good.
I think it's healing. It's healthy.
Yeah, nature is healing. We're gonna find a new champion
on from a difficult relationship.
Right.
Yeah. Which champion do we hate now? Is it Milio? No.
No, I feel
He's
like
too
Milio's
wholesome.
kind of cool. Yeah. It's definitely not Aphelios. Aphelios very edgy. Can't really hate it.
Yeah, it's kind of. It's like you go full circle.
Yeah, I could get behind some like Maokai hate, because he's got the cat skin, so you could sort of transition that over the Yuumi.
It's a smoother,
really annoying
progression.
Yeah, makes some sense.
Sejuani locked in, Milio locked in. 2 incredibly powerful champions, again in the context of the pro meta, and maybe this is Vitality's opportunity to get weird. I see a smile. There's laughs.
He's feeling it. Give him the game, please.
Yes, please do it. Do it. Come on. Last game. Last minute substitution. If this gets locked in, Berlin, I need you to go absolutely nuts. No. Oh, this would have been so cool. It would have been cool for him. It would have been cool for us.
It's worse than that. They're already eliminated, and they're still picking Yuumi.
No, but we've moved on.
Okay.
Remember?
We moved on. No, you're right. Yeah, Yuumi's cool.
It's like when you see your ex out at the bar with someone else, you gotta be fine with it. We don't care about Yuumi.
Yeah, we know that's fine.
Don't hate her at all. Whatever.
Viego, that's basically Kane.
No, it's not.
Neither of them really wear a shirt.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened in like the League of Legends school of combat, but half the dudes are shirtless for some reason.
Armor is really not something that we think much about.
No. Anyway, okay, so Viego locked in, not the flashiest, but a little bit flashier than something like a Maokai or Sejuani. Both were taken away, or I imagined he would have gone for one. And Abbedagge, once again, going to try his hand at the Tristana. He got blasted in lane yesterday versus Leader, absolutely demolished. Despite that, recovered very well. And Excel able to, they didn't really have the front to back, to be honest with you. They kind of just, Straws ran into them and died.
Yeah, found some picks here and there, you might say, and were able to convert that, so hard to feel too bad about that. I will say the Tristana and like the AD mids has been a little thing that Perkz has been dipping into as well. So I'm curious what he finds as the answer if he just wants to, take the Silas the Leader dominated with. It's like, hey, maybe I can just, copy your homework a little bit and have some fun there.
Yeah. I'm not sold.
No, you don't think so?
I saw from Silas yesterday.
You don't think Silas is a hard Tristana
counter? No matter
counter?
how good he did, I'm not convinced, Ender. But you're right. We could still see it. The Cinder and the Nico for now, the priority. So the AP champion pool in the mid lane is getting smaller. And when you already have an Aphelios and a Viego, you imagine we're going to need some magic damage somewhere.
I will say, because Excel have been playing like so many tanks towards the top side, this could potentially be a really good like Gwen game for Photon, something like this. He's been locking like the Renekton in quite a few times recently. And because they've already shown like range support on the bot side, they might need something a little bit beefier. But just like looking at the top side options, whether it's a Cassante, a Scion, next to a Sejuani there, there are some options for Photon if he wants to dive into the full sort of like side lane route if he takes that.
Interesting. The Cassio ban coming out last year makes me wonder if the Tristana is a flex for Excel, or if Cassio top was played previously. Not this split though.
Oh,
I'm just
you're really getting into the sauce
cooking.
now.
I'm getting weird. Ahri, the one champion that started with A that Goldberg could name. Surprising, they're many. It's weird.
Aphelios,
yeah. Aphelios.
We've had an Azir ban.
Yeah.
A lot of A champions.
Annie not gonna show her
And
face.
the Gwen, there you go.
And the Gwen. So not a lot of setup CC, but luckily they have an Aphelios who can kind of patch that up. You've got a Charm, you've got a Stun from the Viego, and that's really about it outside of the Graviton from Aphelios. We'll see if that's going to make it easier for Vitality to set up fights. Excel on the other side. That would raise... Ooh, okay. It is a Tristana.
A little
bot
Odo
lane.
classic.
All right.
Odo going to be rocking the Kennen, presumably up into the Gwen. Not too bad of a matchup there. And then, Abbedagge is now off of Tristana duty after yesterday. They call the audible on the fly, and this will be fun because this shows that while Excel compositionally are carrying a lot of the same ideas, we want beefy front line, have the AP damage, they're showing now with the Cassante in mid, the Kennen top side, that they can flex around who's playing what, which is going to be a really nice thing for them heading into the group stage.
Yeah, having that level of strategic depth where your players are able to maybe execute the same strategy. So we're not seeing something completely different here, but different players can fill different roles as needed. Still going to get that bot side carry. However, the last time we saw Tristana was in the hands of Karzi in Winter. It was a win. See if Patrik can replicate that here. And to be honest with you, I am just curious to see what version of Vitality we see today. So often when there aren't a lot of stakes left or no stakes left in this circumstance, players are just unleashed. They finally play like they do in scrims, crazy aggressive. Maybe we get some of that from Vitality here today. Would be lovely to see. A nice send out.
I want to see Daglas come on stage, have a phenomenal game. This guy, third game ever in the LEC, now going to be rocking out into the Viego.
And now it's time to continue our conversation.
Yeah, let's keep having our conversation.
Because it's not time to toss.
I love it. We're tossing straight into the game.
Now we're in the game. That's right. We don't need to toss. We're tossing to ourselves.
Yeah, let's have a game of catch.
Look, we're just going to move past this. All right. A fox, a cat, and an emo boy. I don't know what that is other than this bot side currently.
Walk into a bot
that's
lane.
A person now. All right.
What's the punchline?
There's not really much of one.
No? Okay.
No.
Maybe we get it later.
We could. Always a possibility. All eyes on Daglas. Why? Because you kind of just... This man is just a victim of the circumstance that he's in, and you want him to do well so that other teams recognize his ability. He can show off here in this final game, and teams go, hey, maybe that guy's got potential, and he deserves another shot.
Yeah.
Because it's been a difficult couple of games for him, a difficult circumstance, and you want players to always get a fair shot on the LEC stage, and that is definitely all what Daglas has got.
Yeah, I'll say, like, this is not a situation where you can fully judge the caliber of a player.
No,
like,
absolutely not.
Obviously, you're coming in with 2-3 days of practice after games on Monday, and then you're showing up on a Saturday to play after Vitality been playing together for a year. So a tough spot for him to be in, but I think that if there was ever a time, it is now, with no pressure, you know, not even trying to fight into that last spot. But it'll be a little bit of a tough one, I think, for Vitality. I will say that one of the switch-ups XL had in draft, especially with this Kennen coming into the Gwen, is I was really looking for the Gwen to be sort of like a side lane, like win condition really for Vitality, matching up into the Cassante. But I think Kennen as a champion can fare very nicely over that. Stop any like tower dive, stuff like that. Very strong wave control as well. So I find it a little bit more challenging because we already said Vitality lack the tools to really like face check into brush, you know, without like a really strong front line. Now they don't have as much sideline pressure either.
Yeah, it's very much going to be a tricky game to navigate, especially as we get closer and closer to 5v5s. When you have limited CC, Milio and his ability to cleanse things away is that much more impactful. On top of that, Patrick's already packing a cleanse, and Excel don't have any of those similar issues as they have an abundance of CC to kick fights off, whether it's the Sejuani or the Kennen or a Cassante flank. They have so many angles to approach these fights as Patrick gets a little frisky on the bottom side. Yeah,
and with this bot lane prio, you can see Peach wanted to invade red buff. So there was an early ward placed on Vitality's red, knowing that Drakos wasn't there, so Drakos starts topside. Now Peach has the option to look for an invade. He's actually going to be spotted on this ward here, but I don't think there should be a realistic dive opportunity. It is the Yuumi who's quite weak here, but Drakos is close by.
Upset walking forward, baiting a little bit, popping the ghost. Excel seemed happy just to get that summoner spell. Peach slowed up for a brief moment, charge up for Daglas. Limit's gonna have to walk over there just to cover. But yeah, play's gonna fizzle out, not really much else to grab there.
Yeah, I feel like it was a bit of a slight overreach there, knowing Daglas was going to be coming down towards the bottom side of the map with prio in both mid and bot there. They could have looked to maybe set up an invade, put some pressure on Daglas. Obviously in those extended fights, the Viego is going to be favored, but all in all, Peach just gets forced away there. A ghost isn't really going to mean much when Upset is just going to be forced underneath the tower, I think, pretty much permanently. When you have a Yuumi next to you and then you're laning against range support plus a Tristana, it's pretty tough to get prio.
Yeah. Explosive shot, I mean, it's such an annoying ability in the laning phase. That free prio, guaranteed, as you highlighted, as Odoamne just continues to poke here. Good old Doran's Blade Kennen, using range advantage to bully on the top side. You were a Kennen player.
I was a Kennen one trick back when I started playing the game, yeah.
What was the secret to playing Kennen back then? If I remember correctly, you were very focused on a couple of items or a specific strategy.
We had, Will of the Ancients was a classic for that spell vamp. I was playing during the 13 potion opening, which was not fun to be a Kennen player because they just keep healing every bit of damage you do. Here we go. That's a big wave here, but it's 3v3.
Limit. Should just be able to back up here. Now again, Patrick's just jumping in, gets the reset. He can rocket jump forward one more time. The exhaust finally coming out here. Daglas off to the side fighting Peach, currently winning out on the 1v1, but is going to backstep there, briefly charge forward. Peach will leap out over the wall and make it to safety. So just a bit of aggressive trading there. The exhaust for the cleanse.
That was so weird. It was a straight up 2 versus 2 in the bot lane while the junglers just duked it out right next to him. An honorable matchup, but of course, Vitality with the giant wave and with the Viego versus Sejuani have prio are going to get the bases off here.
And there it is. Did manage to get prio for a brief moment here. Seems like they might try to hold on to it as the waves are going to meet again in the center.
Yeah, actually, top lane Odo's getting a lot of good chunk in, but Upset hasn't gone for the base in bot side either, which is not favorable. He has no mana left. Patrik already went back for double longsword, so now he's going to be stuck under the tower for this wave, maybe the next wave. Like, yeah, Patrik is a little bit low. He has 1 biscuit to try and heal back, but Upset could, in theory, just be sort of stuck out here down 2 longswords in the matchup for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that we might see him once again just rocket jump in with a little bit extra healing to get aggressive here on the bottom side, as he's done so many times already in this lane. Checking in across the map, checking in. Just a small CS advantage for Peach currently in the jungle. A lot of time spent back around the bottom side when Viego didn't really have camps up there and available. See which side wants to go for Dragon here, if there's going to be any priority, or if we're going to have to wait till a Herald for these trade of objectives. But Abbedagge now on the roam down. At least to...
And the roam up!
At least to fake placing vision, maybe.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a control ward, doesn't have a warding trinket, but it can try to fake it anyway.
Yeah, we'll say Excel have been doing a good job of tracking Daglas. Even though they didn't have vision topside, they were pinging out his clear the entire way, so Abba felt pretty comfortable walking on down there. He also can just tank everything Perkz does. K'Sante, as we know, is a very fun and fair champion.
And interactive. Don't forget interactive.
So interactive. I mean, you get to press your Q so many times.
True.
It hardly costs any mana, which means it's extra interactive.
Unlike Ahri, who has some pretty high costs on those abilities. Perkz doing fine thus far. Abbedagge whiffing on the Q.
That's why Ahri mains can't afford houses. It's because their costs are too high. What? They're buying, I don't know, something about buying too much coffee.
Yeah, I got it.
It's a deep cut.
Yeah, it's a millennial joke, I feel you. All right, Abbedagge. Gonna dash out to safety. Has bought more than enough coffee to zoom up and charge out. Perkz stepping in, unstoppable.
Yes.
K'Sante.
And now Perkz is out of mana. Yeah, good times. Good times. It comes full circle. I will say, I like how Photon has dropped from top lane to get this mid wave pushed in. He will end up losing the wave towards top side, but this mid wave should, in theory, also be dropped from Excel. So everything evens out, all things considered, and there's actually turret plate pressure with how low Excel got after that trade.
And overall, Vitality getting the push in, getting the play, getting a bit of extra damage down. Photon, they're going to be the one who loses out here. We'll see how much Odoamne has gotten back in return. Abbedagge. Not very quick on the unstoppable there. Douglas, does he want to burn a flash and commit? The answer is no. If he had level 6, that would have been one dead K'Sante.
Instead, it's one alive K'Sante. He is fine. But I will say, because Photon ran towards topside, he didn't get the plate in mid, whereas Odo was able to farm that plate up on the top lane. So it is a slight advantage for him overall. You can see Photon also went for the I'm going to run around the map Merc Treads Rush build option.
Yeah, I'm going to suffer through the Kennen lane Merc Treads Rush too against Alternator, which is one of the most annoying buys to come back against your lane opponent.
Yeah, Photon's like, I might even have to base before I have teleport again, and then I just want to be running back and missing no minions. So it is just a 300 gold advantage off that plate and a little bit of the farm there for Odo. So very content at the time being.
Abbedagge trying to get the pull back. Does not connect. Limit just going to heal him up with that cozy campfire. Perkz just continuing to do a lot of work in these trades. But again, the mana cost is very high. It's hard to indefinitely sustain in the lane as Limit here to make sure Perkz can't just shove the wave. Patrik coming up to catch and make sure they get the CS.
It's actually a really interesting game in terms of how the rotations have come out, because with Abbedagge never taking that base, he actually calls in the reinforcements of Patrik and Limit. Now both supports here are just full chilling in the mid lane, and I think Upset, taking over to level 6, has the option to maybe set up a freeze on the bot side of the map, but with Excel already having the duo here in mid, the easy solution would just be to try and force into the Herald, maybe after Herald, place mid, go for Dragon, sort of take both objectives.
Oh. Meanwhile, top side, Photon feeling a little bit more confident with those Merc Treads as he tries to get some pressure here. Presumably to contest this Herald, but with 3 members in the area, as you so wonderfully highlighted, Christy. They've got man advantage.
Confirmed.
And you can look at the minimap, which is more than 90% of the players that I play League of Legends with. So
that's true. Wait a second, you play League with me.
You don't look at the minimap when we play together.
Hold on now. I feel called out.
You
also,
play Zoe support when we play together, so it's not
it's better than Yuumi.
True.
We take those. 4v1.
Abbedagge, can he navigate his way out? That's a bold bet. No one on the side of Vitality can stand against any long walls, or Abbedagge will have a free escape path. His Upset's just going to get some free poke here. Stun going to come in. Unstoppable. Knock back behind the tower. Abbedagge still standing for now, getting a bit of damage back. Still doing all right.
He wins those!
Blood! He kills the cat! Kaiser was tanking tower!
Kaiser surely didn't even realize he was tanking it, did he? Oh no, and now
here
over
comes
the wall!
Peach! Damn. Got your peaches down in bot lane.
I usually get mine in Georgia, but here we go. Peach wants a little bit more. Saw the base? Maybe? No. Just going for the minions here.
Just a
He got what he came for.
Just a passive wave. All right. Excel 2-1, the kill score now. Reminder, groups starts July 15th. Next week, break week. We're coming back after that with best of 3s, and there's a draw show after the last game today, after any potential tiebreakers. So, you know, stick around. See what the exciting matchups are going to be as we take a look back at what happened.
All right,
watch
for
the cat.
Kaiser
Watch the
Q.
cat.
Oh my gosh! I think so because Douglas's stun missed. Wait,
there goes the cat.
Yeah, Kaiser's still tanking.
He's just eating the tower.
Huh?
That was entirely avoidable.
And so Abba gets first blood.
Still 1 for 1. But sometimes you tank tower and you underestimate the damage as it starts to ramp up.
Now this Drake could get interesting. So actually 11 minutes in, there's a really late first Drake. We're also at the point where now the respawns or the cooldown refreshes coming in from top laners are going to be in the next minute. So high likelihood that a fight could break out here with a couple of teleports, but if Kennen's involved, that's going to look pretty favorable for Excel.
Certainly will be the case. Wave even on the top side of the map. Photon already moving down. Vitality, will they be able to contest this one? It has been overall, outside of that bot side play, an incredibly quiet game. Excel.
Odo has TP now, but I don't think they're going to go for this one.
They're dropping Herald.
I feel like Peach was really trying to use Sweeper and not Herald, but
I'm inclined to agree.
maybe it was timing out? I don't think so.
Drakos has Smite. Are they willing to step forward to contest this? Can they stop the charge? Nope. Berlin predicted. Berlin was
for the fight, though.
And now they're just going to try to lock up Milio. Immediately, the ult now coming up, but they're forced to retreat backwards. The TP's coming in. Odoamne just going to walk out to safety. It seems like there's no fight to be had, but now he's in trouble. The charm flash forward coming in from Perkz. Odoamne popping up to try to stay standing. Photon going to go in and finish the kill. Plates for kills now as Photon keeps going. Locked up, stunned under tower. The needles. Oh, damn. That was wacky.
Okay, Photon just showing up out of nowhere. I thought the fight was going to be on the Drake. It just happened underneath the bot lane turret. What a wacky situation.
We're going to have to find a new word. Wacky's not going to cut it anymore. Odd exchange on the bottom side there.
Curious, you might even say.
So first, we think Peach pops Herald because he's trying to sweep, and then there's a Herald situation on the bottom side.
I think Excel could have walked out, but then Odo sees this minion's like, maybe I have a flank TP something. He gets exhausted, which I thought was a mistake, because, you know, he still has ultimate, but ends up slowing him down, so Perkz flashes in, lands the charm. He's able to follow up, and then Photon with the Ghost is just, I guess, gonna mow down Limit. No one thought this was possible.
This looked rough. I thought for sure he was just gonna die there.
Zip.
Bam. And that's why I'm afraid to have blood drawn. I'm sure that's exactly how it goes. No?
With needles, yeah.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah. I was like, with scissors? I don't really think they're doing that.
Needles, no.
And
No.
maybe, I don't know.
Look,
I see the giant scissor. Look, I appreciate it. I'm just a little slow today.
You see giant scissors, you assume Kill la Kill? Is that the direction? You haven't watched Kill la Kill.
I have not watched Kill la Kill.
This is the problem, is our
But I
media
did
doesn't
just watch
overlap.
Photon.
That's all the context
Kill
you
la
need.
No. Anyways, kills rush down the bot side for Kaiser.
Yeah.
So it's like Milio light.
Yeah, it's kind of build a Milio.
Build a Milio.
Aspirational
Build a bear.
Milio.
Let me introduce you to Build a Milio.
And it's 14 minutes. It's a pretty tiny gold lead. It's dead even. Nothing has happened. There are no towers down. There's one Drake in favor of Vitality. Daggo's gonna walk in and try to smite something away. Peach keeping this one going. Limit over the wall to protect. Offering warm hugs to his comrades.
Upset is really trying to do something here.
Fishing. Good damage.
Got decent chunk. He is just down the item. So it's hard to imagine they can sustain this through.
Yeah, I feel like Peach is just going to push ult here in a second, but there's a Mikhail's. Oh, okay, a little late, but it does come out there. Upset starting to heal up. Dagless body blocking a little bit here. Has to be careful. The Sejuani is going to ult out to safety. Patrik doesn't want to overcommit with the flash.
Ooh, Perkz is up here, though.
Escape. Okay, Patrik, no ulti. Does have flash and cleanse available. Peach has flash. Still very tanky.
Ooh, this could actually lose them a lot. Mid tower should end up falling off this with Abbedagge on the push. Then with also two players from Vitality roaming down to try and catch that. Maybe top lane tower falls as well. I think it will end up going down here. Upset doesn't really have to wait, so they might just die.
Cold. Overcommitting here. The knockback there. Upset down. Kaiser surely going to fall as well. Daggo's coming in, but I don't think he can save the cat. The last auto. Finishing the job. And even if you don't pick sides, you can always cheer for Yuumi dying.
I mean, that was just sort of like Vitality split in a nutshell. Overforcing on one side and then getting caught out of position in the rotations. Overstaying in top lane after mid-jungle end up abandoning. Like, Vitality had numbers in top lane initially, but then the second they leave, they're still stepping forward with just the duo. That gets punished big time.
Well, Perkz walking in. Will not spot Milio. Or might have spotted him, but doesn't do anything to stop Milio's recall. And now, almost 2K gold lead for Excel. So a nice little sequence of play there. I think a lot because Vitality just kind of overcommitted and then undercommitted and seem a bit out of sorts.
They have commitment issues, that's for sure.
Most definitely. See, Dagos doesn't seem to share the same problem as he is fully committed to this Herald. No one is going to contest. No Drake to be taken either, so maybe they can leverage this to go get their second Drake as well. Positive find for side of Vitality.
Yeah, the tough thing is Excel, whenever they sort of match up AD carry bot lane duos in that 2 versus 2, it's always upset on the receiving end. So no prio there for Vitality. Excel can walk into the enemy jungle, place down some vision, and actually just set up for this bot lane tower to fall. With that prio, they're going to full walk down. It means bot lane turret, it means dragon on top of it. And Vitality not really in any position around the map to respond. Drakos was just coming off a reset. Photon takes his own, realizing that he's just going to be outnumbered on this bottom side of the map, so he will not be extending. While Excel will get that turret, at least he doesn't end up giving that life over. And, well, he's up to the Riftmaker now, so he continues to start powering up on his own, but hard to imagine that continues while the rest of the team is just waiting for more item breakpoints to come in.
Yeah, bit of a tricky situation overall. Upset, of course, has, he's completed the Gale Force, he's doing okay. Perkz 1.5 items. Everything is okay, but definitely not everything is good on the side of Vitality. 2K gold lead, Excel getting that first tower, likely set up to knock down this tower as well. Perkz just gonna let it fall there.
Vitality are pushing every lane.
It's a start?
Excel all recall.
Oh, well, all recall.
That's what happened, yeah.
But maybe they can make a play here on the bottom side. You see Pings now coming out, Photon very strong. So it could just be the trade of objectives here. So they are going to be able to grab this bot lane tier 1. Odo doesn't have information on who is in the area, so he's not going to risk stepping forward to contest the wave.
Perkz has to be a little bit careful, but ultimate at minimum should be enough to get out of here.
Peach just going to walk him down. Peach just going to not have vision to push E, so won't be able to do anything there. But here's that second Herald. The Drakos was able to get uncontested, so we'll be able to break down this mid lane tower with the charge. As XL now trying to kick this off. Odo just goes right over the wall. Mikhail's coming out, and Upset now trying to turn it right back. Gwen's coming in from the Milio as well. Upset firing up. Good damage coming in. Photon fully committing to the fight. Body blocking the ultimate. Perkz off to the side. Can he find the Milio? Not yet. Patrik stepping out to safety, and instantly it's Abba on the flank. Upset knocked down. Excel taking the fight. Flash forward from Abba again, whipping the Q3 though. The dash forward. Peach going back under tower. The mid lane tower still standing, making this dive pretty tricky.
Everyone's so low. What is that? It's only Upset that ends up falling. Just the full flank coming in from Abba, snatching him up. And that mid lane tower will end up dropping too. If Patrik just found one reset there, that fight could be a completely different story. Could just keep on running on through. It did feel like because XL spent so much time running after Perkz, they lost pressure around mid. Odo really sent it, trying to jump onto Upset. Then Vitality thought they could come back in. Perkz, of course, was rejoining the fight. Photon felt very, very powerful, but then just watch this. Abbedagge walking over full vision, and doesn't matter. No one actually turns to deal with him whatsoever, so he just picks up Upset, and Vitality are like, oh. Yeah, but we have no AD carry.
Blood in your eyes sort of situation. You can
They're seeing red.
Seeing red. Only see the person in front of you. And let's take stock. How bad has that made things? Well, it's still 2.5K. It's not a big deal. I think it's fine. It's going to be all about this mid to late game execution. Again, I think ease of execution very much on the side of Excel, but Photon is getting progressively stronger in this game. He's kind of a player that I'm now watching in these fights. TP top side. Patrik hasn't overcommitted yet, but that TP from Perkz, a bit lackluster, and now Patrik just going to keep jumping in. I don't think there's a lot that they can do to stop him. Drakos in trouble now.
Kaiser gives up on Drakos.
Needlework, the charm coming in, Upset off to the backside. XL will back away. Drakos will hold on to his life.
Yikes. That's actually the second time this game we've seen the crazy TP under enemy tower. First it was Odo falling in the bot side. That time Perkz has to use flash, ult, everything to escape.
Itchy trigger fingers. Okay.
So the thing is, Odo still has TP. No one on Vitality can match him, so I feel like XL might want to play this a little bit slower and allow Odo to get on top of the tower. Forcing here might not be the call.
It's 20 minutes. It's a pretty slow Baron. They're now backing up. The Upset has a ton of chakrams. Abbedagge goes to the backside anyway. That was a terrible play. You can't just leap into the Aphelios no matter how strong you're feeling. There's absolutely no follow-up. Odo coming in. Odo has the flank, but they're just going to tear through Patrik. And I don't know if the Kennen's going to be enough. Leap out from Drakos. Drakos now shooting for the reset. This is his time to shine. Looking for the reset on Peach as well. Does he have enough damage? Ticking away. Yeah, Kaiser wants to get the job done in the end. Excel still make it work. The triple from Odo, the hero play.
Odo finally decides to show up to the party and just kills Vitality. Vitality just went all in. Upset with the flash, trying to snipe out the enemy AD, but here you have it. I think Excel, again, if they just played a little bit slower, they're trying to catch Perkz, I think, out of this fight on the reset timer. And it starts out as a 1-for-1. Then Vitality realized they kind of need to continue this fight, otherwise their base is just going to get torn apart. They're going to have to go back themselves. So Upset full sends it in, but at that point, it is a losing fight. There was no exhaust to deal with the Kennen. Once you've lost the Aphelios, there's actually no real damage to deal with the Sejuani.
Yeah, credit to Odo for turning that one around. Abbedagge very much over-aggressive, I think, in the exchange, just underestimating how squishy he became once he did use that all-out. You can see there, that fight, kind of a split damage profile coming in from Vitality, but very much all about Patrik and Odo.
It does mean, though, because Odo used the TP, and now the side laners that are matching up is Gwen into the Cassante. So this is a situation that Photon is going to be very happy with. Douglas just trying to take the moment to clear away vision on the Baron, while he would assume Excel would be concerned getting that Chemtech Drake, but I don't think Excel care about the Chemtech Drake. They want to maintain pressure up on this top side. If they can show some presence around Photon, it can alleviate pressure, leave that turret standing, so it means that Photon has to stick around another wave if he wants to knock that one down. It means Excel can get this push on the next one in mid, so very formulaic play from Excel, leaving nothing really to chance.
Certainly the case now, taking their time. Easy for them to secure mid-prile. Again, with a gold lead like this, as long as they're even or with a man advantage, everything's going pretty smoothly. That said, not going to put anyone up to the top side to try to contest Photon, as there's just not enough tower health there. Don't want to give them the opportunity to all in. Excel opting to catch their waves now. So this is Vitality's turn to make a play. Peach obviously taking Dragon in the meantime. So Vitality, you have topside pressure. You've used it to ward. Can you do anything weird? Can you set up a pick? I don't think you can go for Baron. No.
No. Not even any camps to go farm. Peach is taking your camps on the bot side. That rebuff is gone. I will say, because we're on a Chemtech map, this has made some things pretty interesting, because we already saw once like Odoamne using the Giga Blast Plant to get a flank off. That is always going to be a threat coming from Excel's side, but as well for someone like Photon trying to access the backline, that could be
Peach
important.
Looking to snipe, locks up Perkz, and he's dead.
Ooh.
Clean pick from the side of Excel.
I think Excel can start the Baron now.
That definitely can. One man down, Vitality, are they ready to contest this one? Photon has TP up and available. There is vision in the area. One ward not cleared out.
You're just not going to win the fight. You can't even step into the river, I don't think, from Vitality. Best bet is to try and take some turret gold on the bot side of the map, because that Baron is already gone.
Yeah, easy pick. Conversion into Baron. Gold lead only continuing to get bigger here. 6K now. Photon going to get a little bit of something back here as the rest of Excel now tries to collapse. Oh, he wants to keep pushing. Walking into Odo.
Fight Odo.
Odo has the base gate, though, so this doesn't really feel like a very winning proposition at this stage. The rest of the team now coming in, but Odo taking a ton of damage, going gold, and Photon. Yeah, just trying to get something done.
Yep, definitely trying. I will say, if I had to guess what was said before this game backstage, was like, take your chances, go in. Because we've already seen Photon twice. Remember that bot lane when he just went underneath the tower?
It worked. He killed Milio.
Upset had the flash into 5 people to trade 1-for-1 with Patrik. There's a fearless gameplay coming through from Vitality.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's tricky to cast a team in this situation, because how much criticism do you really want to leverage against them? They're already down and out. But hasn't been the cleanest game, most certainly. I respect the aggressive attempts. However, Excel, calm and steady. Despite having an advantage, they've been mostly just playing it by the book, honestly. Haven't been overcommitting to any big plays. Did take a risk around that Baron, but since then have kind of chilled out. And now with the Baron that they've successfully secured, thanks to a pick onto Perkz, and a potential second pick onto Perkz. Yep.
That felt personal.
Yes, it did.
Dude was in his own base, and they just came flying over the wall.
Not his
out
base
of
anymore.
Nowhere.
He's getting evicted. Excel probably don't end here, because they've been playing very conservatively, so I assume they're just going to take the safe play. Yeah, going to go to the top side of the map. Abbedagge TPing up there with the wave to usher that one in. Want to close it out clean. Don't want to take any risks.
Look, it might feel like we're 40 minutes in, but we're only 25 minutes in. Excel, I still have some time left on this Baron.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, not a lot to say in this one, Christy.
No.
Not a lot. We could talk about the items. I could talk about the scaling, but to be honest, Excel, I feel like have easier paths to get things done. We've seen it in the way that Peach has been able to force a lot of these picks. Shout out to Peach, 309, almost flawless kill participation.
Who's 309?
Peach?
Is?
Peaches? Oh my.
Trying to walk you into that one.
Thank
Anyways,
you.
nice try. Perkz is actually trying to scout, I think, with the sweeper, but didn't quite catch all the way into the bush. And what was he? Oh, he was just in vision because he was inside of the gate.
Oof.
Oh no. He had swept it, there was a control ward down, but he was just inside the gate, and that's how they jumped on him.
All they need. Tiniest bit of vision. They're on the hunt, Excel. Here we are. 9K gold advantage. Excel. Again, for them, this is top 4. If you're wondering why they're playing it so cut and dry, so by the books, it's because for them, it's a lot on the line.
Yep.
Not having to play G2 or Fnatic as your first round opponents is a... You want to ease into the best of 3.
Yeah, sure. Especially your first best of 3 of the year.
Yeah.
Excel have only played BO. They're actually undefeated in best of series.
True. That's some creative framing, Ender.
Which bodes well for their group stage.
No.
No?
The way you phrased it, yes, but the actual fact of the thing, I think Excel should be approaching this with the utmost respect, try to get the biggest advantage they can heading into best of 3. It's a new patch. You know, different players have different opinions about how different the game is going to be, but obviously giving yourself any more time to practice and figure it out is going to be a boon.
I think what we might see is check out Odoamne pushing in the super minions in mid lane, so he was going to threat actually flanking Vitality in their own base. That makes Vitality, you know, forces them to get off the bot lane. Inhibitor Photon's trying to get some gold back. The objective bounties in the top lane, but XL might just take the Nexus during that time.
Yep. Little rage splitting. Pull back onto Upset is good. Just taking their time here, forcing out the Yuumi ultimate. Perkz barely able to survive. Patrik really wants that kill back. Everyone flashing forward, trying to get something done here. Odoamne has opened up the Nexus. It's up to Excel now. Do they want to end the game or do they want to team fight? The choice is theirs. For now, the choice appears to be fight the team. There goes Odo! An electric send-off for Vitality as Excel lock top 4.
What hurt more? Vedius's arm with the shock thing or that Odo ult coming in? Because that looked insane.
We'll have to find out.
We'll have to ask him. That's the most important question in the interview. But yeah, top 4 secured from Excel, and all things considered, what a turnaround this team has had. Now in week 2 and 3, won 5 out of their 6 games, and comfortably sitting up in top 4 after bottom finishes the last couple of splits.
And for so many teams, a bad week 1 in this new format where it is such a breakneck pace is essentially the end of a season. You know what I mean? And credit again to Excel for turning a disaster week 1 into a miraculous week 2, and now an incredible week 3. Locking up top 4, good to have, and obviously commiserations on the other side. Once again, thanks to Perkz for giving that wonderful interview with Georgia. You know, always good to have that insight. It's crushing, and that's one of the things about this new format is, you know, yes, technically Vitality have a small chance because of championship points to make it to the season finals, and they'll be hoping for that. But if you get knocked out here, you know what I mean? There's not a lot left. You could be spending a lot of time before the next season starts. You really got to take that time to figure out what you need to be doing, how to build the best team, how to be a better player. It's a rough situation to be in.
I will say, like, the silver lining is, you know, if you do make it up into the top 6, now because you are eliminated and you get some time, you're not like on that same like pressure to, you know, perform week on week.
Yes.
So you have a little bit more time to like go back to the basics, like actually improve as a team instead of finding band-aid solutions.
Yeah.
You can get down to the bottom of it a little bit more. That is definitely reaching, but in the event that they do manage to get top 6, they are going to have a little bit of time. Excel, one of those teams that had a big break this year, right? And then they come in this split, tough week 1, but now absolutely looking hot, hot, hot. Their challenge, of course, is going to be time traveling forward 2 patches, right, after the break week, and making sure they can continue to replicate. 2
patches forward, need to make it minimum top. I mean, the odds are still stacked against them. This is just the beginning of what would need to be a miraculous run in order for them to secure season finals, as they are very far down when it comes to points. But it is a damn good start to that run, and we'll see if they can keep that momentum going. For now, though, we'll send it over to Trouble and the victorious Odoamne.
Thank you very much, Drakos. Odoamne, congrats.
Hey, my name was wrong.
What did you say?
Odoamne.
Close enough, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, that sucks, but you locked in top 4.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't suck.
That doesn't, I mean, okay. Honestly, really rough year. You guys had a 0-3 this split. Did you expect to be where you are right now?
Well, maybe not this high, but I expect us to do a lot better because, I don't know, even in winter and spring, there were a lot of games that were completely winnable and we were just too bad to win. And I don't know, there was not a lot of sync in those previous iterations. And now, for better or the worse, like we have different issues, but at least there's some cohesion in our gameplay. So I wouldn't really say that I expected, you know, top 4. No one really expects top 4 when you're dead last, not once but twice. So it's a welcoming thing, and yeah, moving forward, we need to see what we do in the group stage and playoffs, because from what I know, if we're not top 3, there's no chance you can make the summer playoffs. So that's cool.
Talking about groups and playoffs and all that, you guys are going to be playing a whole different patch. Now, I know that a lot of the top laners are jailed on tanks. You being one of those inmates. Do you expect that? Do you expect that with a new patch, we might see a few carries popping out?
Definitely, because I mean, I would need to recheck both 13-12 and 13-13 and see all the changes. But from like my general vibe is that enchanters are getting slightly nerfed. Rel will be enabled. I hope. Rel will be enabled. So there seems to be, usually when there's a shift towards kind of these tanky supports, then top lane can kind of come out and play a lot more, because when you have Milio on the team, Milio and Yuumi being completely OP champions, you kind of have to take the L and play a beefy boy, you know, because if you play another carry in top lane and you're like 20 minutes in and they're like, oh, they have full Nashor control, who can walk in, and everyone says not me, then you kind of have a...
Has to be you.
Yeah, so I'm that guy, you know, I'm the...
Engage boy?
I can face check,
Okay.
you know, so yeah, that's usually top lane on this role, on this patch. But yeah, in 13-13, some things will change. I mean, some tops didn't get nerfed. I mean, the tanks didn't really get nerfed, so we could still see them, but I think it's going to change a little bit.
Absolutely, and now you talked a little bit about group stage as well. BDS is playing Mad right after, and BDS with a win, they lock top 8, but they have to play against Mad. What is your prediction on that one? They really like BDS.
Yeah, I mean, he has a BDS shirt, so it makes sense. I mean, you know, usually I would say Mad, but kind of no one really noticed that Mad went from 4-0 to 4-4, so that's a bit sus. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really know, honestly, because both teams have...
Say one.
Okay, BDS, fine.
Okay, fair. Thank you very much. BDS versus Mad right after the break.
Escape passes up. Set's just going to get some free poke here. Stun going to come in. Unstoppable. Knock back behind the tower. Abbedagge still standing for now. Getting a bit of damage back. Still doing all right. He gets first blood. He kills the cat. Plates for kills now as Photon keeps going. Locked up. Stunned under tower. The needles. Oh, damn.
I'm pretty low.
I'm TP now.
Aphelios flashed in.
I think we win.
Go Ahri, go Ahri.
Ahri, no,
Ahri no flash, Ahri nothing.
Viego no flash.
I can buff you. Messi. Nice.
For now, the choice appears to be fight.